Hey, how you doing, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of God Concept. I'm your host, Mr. Pagan. I'm still trying to figure out this new way that I'm doing my podcast now. I'm doing it on camera. It's a lot more it's a lot more difficult than I thought. You know what I mean? Setting up the camera and doing that, even though I'm just doing it on my phone or on my laptop at times. You know what I mean? It's like I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate my music with the video podcast. It'd be easy if they had like a little button on here somewhere where I could do stuff like that. But until then, I could just cue up some music real quick. There we go. It's my shit. I don't give a fuck what nobody thinks. It's like the theme music for my podcast right here. The duality of the concept. Because there's always a duality of the concept. You know what I mean? The concept of life, the concept of what we believe, the concept of our soul, the way we think. There's always a concept. There's a concept at each situation that you win every day. You know what I mean? Backdoor my winning the game. I ain't paid for it. I ain't use Pro Tools, but I use them things that only the soul use. Duality of a concept. Those are the soul rules. I keep all of the game. All the slow moves. You playing with cool tools. Sleep for a while. Ball smooth. Step in the ball shoes. You will win. Free your mind, people, free your soul. Meditate on anything, achieve your goals. Rattle the ashes, yeah, your dreams has rose. Yeah, shake the pose. Step out on the equator, don't burn your toes. Born pharaohs, American gods wearing human clothes. And now see all the spots where humans pose. They peep behind the blinds where the Hebrews pose. That theme music crazy. I love it. The duality of the concept. Yeah. Man, how you all doing? That's an intro right there. That's the intro of a podcast. That's the type of intro that I like right there. You know what I mean? Me playing some nice music and things like that. I'm gonna figure it all out. I done figured out a lot of other shit. I've been doing my research on all types of shit. The government, nature, our personal lives. This thing that I've been seeing online where people just disappearing out of nowhere. Where they just got people like manifesting and they just gone. Like, you know what I mean? 1 second they there, multiple people just disappearing. I don't know what the fuck that's about. But besides all that, just in this life is just one big ass lesson. You know what I mean? Like we gonna go through things and, we tend to take what we go through so personally. I take it personally a lot of times, but I'm not, I'm trying to detach the emotion out of the things that I go through on a daily basis in my life, things that I could dwell on and reflect. You know what I mean? They say the things that you go through in life, it's like sometimes you might not get everything out of a situation, out of something that you've been through in life. But as you get older, as you progress, you could take these things that you learned before, lessons that you learned that you might not have picked up on before, and in recollection, you could pick up on the lesson or the message in whatever it is that you've been through in your life. You know what I mean? That's why it's good to dwell, meditate, reflect, and think about the accounts that you have, the mental accounts, those intellectual accounts, those memories that your soul holds on to. You know, when you pass on, you know, when you go into the next level of life, they say that you have a flashback of your whole life. You know what I mean? When you're about to die or whatever, you have a flashback of your entire life just flashes before your very eyes in a split second. You know what I mean? And that goes to show you the moment when your soul was about to leave this plane of existence, this plane of life, and it was on its way to the next level of life, it wanted to take all the memories with it. Your soul, your spirit wanted to take all the memories with it that it had while it was here on this level, on this plane of existence, while it was here and, you know, living his life. That goes to show you that it wasn't meant to be forgotten. Nothing is forgotten. Nothing is ever lost. It's just merely transferred from one place to another. You know what I mean? And if you could really grasp that concept and really, you know, and really just keep that in mind, you know, it would show you not to take everything so literally. The emotions that you have here, the spiritual emotions that you have here, yeah, they're retained within the soul and they pass on the memories that you have with people, places, things, the situations that you're in. All of these things are remembered and they're taken with you to that next level of life. You know, you don't get to remember these things, but they're stored up in your or in a higher consciousness memory bank or, you know, soul bank, you know, that thing that ties us all together, you know, that system that we're all in. You know, at times it seems like you know, that your thoughts aren't yours and things like that. It's because you have a higher consciousness that's observing what you're going through. You have something higher than yourself that's in control of what you're going through, why you're going through it, the lessons that you learn while you're going through it. And that's why you only get bits and pieces of the picture at certain times in your life. You know what I mean? You might go through something when you're 10 years old, right? But as you get older and older and older you get, you start to take different lessons from what you went through at 10 years old. That's because it wasn't meant for you to fully comprehend what you really been through. You know, fully understand what your life, you know, went through at 10 years old. Once you reach 20 and you think about that same situation and that same thing that you went through, you're going to grasp it on a whole different level. You're going to understand what you went through on a whole different level than maybe at 30. You might think about the same situation again and you get another piece of the picture. You know what I mean? A lot of us, you know, in this jigsaw puzzle of life, we pay attention to just our piece of the puzzle. You know what I mean? But you don't really understand this person's piece, that person's piece, and the situation around you and how it's all built and how it all coalesced into this one lesson that's really a lifelong lesson. But you take it and you take it for that momentary value and you take it just as that one moment of time when it's not, when really that one thing that you've been through, whether it's a good experience or a bad experience, is going to teach you multiple things throughout your life. That's why you have to sit and reflect, meditate a lot. You know, I don't want to say try not to dive into the past because, you know, sometimes diving into the past, your past experience, your past recollections, and what you remember helps you blaze a path for the future. You know, our past is so pertinent. You know, our ancestors past, our parents past, your grandparents past, your family lineage, their lifeline, and what they've been through in their life and the things that they did in their life that made them who they are. A lot of the times, well, not a lot of times, 100% of the times, it's in you, it's embedded within you because you've seen what they went through and you heard about what they went through. And even if you didn't, somehow you're still tied to that. Sometimes you don't even know that you're still attached to the things that your parents or your grandparents went through, but you are. You know what I mean? Your children are tied to the things that you go through in life, all of these lessons that you learn. This is why in the past you had great scholars and theologians who would write books, great books like the Bible, the books of the Bible, the Acts that's in the Bible. You had people who made family ledgers and journals and things of this nature. You know, they made these journals and read even in Egyptian times before paper. You know what I mean? They was carving their lessons and their things that they learned from the universe and from each other and spirituality and the intellectual realm and how to do certain things, how to manifest certain things in his life. They wrote it on the walls and in a lot of these pyramids and things like that. They wrote those accounts there so people can remember. Not just remember, they can learn and teach each other from these carvings and these writings. You know what I mean? And it's important that you document these things. It's important that you have an account for these things somewhere. You know, they say when an elder dies or pass on to the next level of life, that you lose an infinite amount of knowledge. You lose a library of wisdom and knowledge with that person. But that's only if that elder didn't teach you anything. That's only if that elder didn't pass on the lessons that they learned in their life to you or somebody, or wrote them down or wrote books. And that's why you have to get those thoughts out. You have to. A lot of people, they just they think a lot. I think a lot. I love to think. Thinking is a great thing. You know what I mean? To be a great thinker is to be a great wise person. You know what I mean? But sometimes you got to stop thinking and you got to start doing. You know what I mean? Most times that's the problem. We're too enthused with being amused with things instead of doing things. You know what I mean? Success is built upon you doing something with that thought that you have, with those thoughts that you think, those ideas. Those all manifest into great things. You just have to be the one to document it. You got to be the one to put it out there, especially your own personal accounts, because that intellectual pool that a lot of us get these thoughts from and we're fishing in, they're shared. Those are shared intellectual pools. Just like I have an idea or a thought about something, you have the same idea and thought about something, right? We could both have the same idea and thought about something, a plan or a patent or a song, a book, a movie or a TV show, whatever it is. We might all have that great thought, right? But who's going to put it out there first? Who has the financial backing or who has the wherewithal? Because sometimes it's not all about finance and how you can get something out there. Sometimes it's about you just getting up and doing it and putting it out there first. You know what I mean? I had a lot of great ideas that I shopped around to the Invention Institute, invention.com and all that stuff. You have all of these great ideas, and sometimes you see that somebody else brought those ideas to fruition. Somebody else brought that idea, that thing that you had in your mind to life. That's because they actually moved on it. They moved on the things that they was fishing for in the intellectual realm. They manifested it just by bringing it to work. Just like it's like that voice that Noah heard when he was before he built the ark. The voice told him. It wasn't a physical person there to talk to him. The voice told Noah, if you build it, they will come. He didn't know that he was building this massive ark. I mean, maybe he did know. Maybe that voice let him know that too. I'm not in tune to the whole story, but I know that Noah built it and they came. You know what I mean? Two by two, one by one, they all came because they wanted to be saved. You know what I mean? It's a powerful thing. You know what I mean? When you building something and you're manifesting something, when you're exercising that creator, that part of the creator that's within each of us. Each of us got a piece of the creator, that piece of the creator that animates you, that allows you to articulate your words in a way that resonate with people, that moves people, that get that emotional feel out of people. When they get that, it's like, you know, there's something above that person or in that person that's speaking to the inner person in you, to that inner soul that's in you. You know what I mean? And you have to move with that force. You have to move with that force. Like sometimes I'll be in the middle of creating something. I could just be in the middle of a song, and for whatever reason, I'll just be overflowed with emotion. You know what I mean? You just feel the emotion overflowing when you start to tear up, or you start to feel like a chill in your body or something. And it's because you feeling that emotion because it's resonating with something inside of you. You know what I mean? And it's resonating with something above, something below, something that's, you know what I mean? Something that's not physical is happening. You know, something that you can't touch is happening. Something spiritual is happening. You know what I mean? And you know, a lot of us don't know what that is at times. I got a theory myself. I think it's because you know, when you're creating something great, your ancestors could feel the passion that's within you. You know what I mean? You could feel that passion that's resonating with you while you're creating anything is felt by your ancestors. You know what I mean? That spiritual realm is feeling what you're doing or feeling what you're going through. That's why you get such an overwhelmingness of emotions that's passing through your body, because they feel it. You know what I mean? They feel it. You're going through it, but there's multiple levels of life that's feeling what you're going through, or feeling what you're saying, feeling what you're creating. And that's why you have to really create. You have to, like, for instance, these videos, these podcasts, you know, I call it God Concept Podcast. I really wish I would have called it Creators Concept, but God Concept rolls off the tongue a lot better. But it's like I'm doing the same thing that we're doing, the same thing that the ancient people did when they carved in the stone, when they wrote biblical texts, you know, that we all read today. When they sculpt sculptures of great people of the past, you know, that we remember now because of those sculptures and those paintings and those writings and those hieroglyphs. You know, we're doing the same thing. It's all digital. You know what I mean? It's just done in a different way now because we live in a different time, in a different age, in a different era of life. You know, where now we don't have to carve something in the stone to leave our message. Now we could just click the on button or just speak passionately and poetically about a topic and about whatever we feel, you know, about what's on our heart, you know, what's in our mind, what's, you know, what's there, what we feel physically, to convey what we been through physically to others, you know, and to let others know that they're not the only ones dealing with something. They're not the only ones going through life and wondering what if and what's this and what's that. I heard somebody say that 90% of our life is really spiritual. 10% of it is mental. But we live in this physical form. You know what I mean? It kind of made sense to me, but the physical is so prevalent. Like when you're born in life, I could cut myself and it hurt. You know what I mean? I could go through things and it affect me emotionally in a lot of ways. And it's like when you deal with that physical aspect of it, yeah, the physical is way more prevalent because I gotta eat, sleep, shit, wake up, go to bed, I get sick, I have feelings, I go through this, I go through that. You get depression and you going through all these things in life. But it's like, you know, the main task is to really understand that we're here and we're doing things and we're collecting things. We're collecting thoughts and memories and accounts, and we're living our life. The main task is to, and God even put this before you too. I mean, the Creator even put this task before you too, is to learn of God, to learn about the Creator. That's one of the tasks in life, to create. You know what I mean? I touched on this on one of my episodes of podcast on Spotify before. But, us being many versions of whatever we come from, that creative aspect of the Creator that's in all of us demands that we create. You got to procreate. You got to have children, right? That's one of the things. Be fruitful and multiply, right? So you have to have children. You have to create kids. But what about out of the intellect? What about out of your mind? What do you collect? What are you birthing mentally into this world? Do you create anything? Some of us are creators, some of us are consumers. I spent a long time, a lot of my life being a consumer. Consuming, consuming too much can corrupt you. Consuming too much can corrupt the creator within you. It actually stifles the creative part of you. I mean, at times when you're a creator, it can give you inspiration to create more, to create something that's like that, or you spin off of that in a way. But if you consume too much, it's consuming your time, because time is the only thing that's intangible and tangible at the same time. I mean, time, the spirit, and those intellectual properties, those thoughts that you have until you bring them into existence. You know, these thoughts that I'm having right now, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one with these thoughts. I look at videos all day long and get different ideas for different videos. And, I might have 10, 15, 20 thoughts throughout the day on different type of videos that I want to make and different ways I want to convey my message. And, I might go through something today that make me want to make a video about it and explain different situations and my take on this and that. I might have went through something yesterday that make me want to make a video and explain about this or that and talk about it. You know what I mean? Because this is therapeutic for me. It helps me get my thoughts out there and help me get my, get my feelings out there in a lot of ways. A lot of people, they just go sit with a therapist and talk about all their problems and let them document it, but what is that really doing for you? I mean, if it helps you emotionally, that's all good. But it's like, you could have took that same emotion that you felt, that same feeling that you felt, that you conveyed to a person sitting on the sofa writing it down in this pad, that could probably just give two fucks about what you're talking about. You could have took that same feeling and emotion and put it in a song. You could have took those same thoughts, feelings, and emotions and put it in a podcast or song, wrote a book. There's so many things that you could do, but instead of looking inwardly, you know what I mean, for your healing, for your therapy, for your therapy session, instead of looking inwardly towards yourself, you look outwardly to another person, and don't get me wrong, we do need people. We do need other people to heal and help grow and things like that. But at the same time, a lot of healing and growth doesn't happen unless you reach that point yourself, unless you actually exercise whatever that feeling was or whatever that emotion was. If you don't express that in a constructive way, that can be detrimental to your growth as a person, to your spiritual growth, to your mental health. You got to get it out there. You have to. And a lot of us a lot of us get so judgmental in how another person process what they're going through, their thoughts and their feelings. But really, it's just, you have to walk your life and live your life according to however your spirit moves you to deal with life. You know, your life calling, is not for another person to say, hey, you should do this with your life. And a lot of times it work out. A lot of us do things that, others say that, that'll be lucrative for us. I have friends that I would love to, I have friends that I, had conversations with, and I thought they was very deep thinkers. And I give them the idea of doing a podcast and things like that. But it just, they're like, nah, I ain't doing that shit. I'm cool. I ain't doing that shit. And I mean, it's cool. You know what I mean? From the conversation that I had with them, it seemed like it would have been the perfect thing to do. But for them, it wasn't for them. So they don't do it. You know what I mean? And it's cool because, I could take those conversations that I've had and things that I've learned, you know what I mean, and put them in my podcast. So I guess this is them doing a podcast vicariously through me in a lot of ways. Um, it's all about being free, man. It's all about chasing that freedom that we all want so much, man. It's so bad. It's like I never thought that a lot of things that I went through in my life that I would even ever go through. Like I never thought that I would have to go through a lot of the things that I went through in life. But here I am. There those situations were. The situation that I'm in and I'm in now. Here I am. You know, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna let a situation change you for the better or for the worse? Are you gonna let life lessons that you went through damage the rest of your life? You know what I mean? A lot of people fall into addiction and things like this because they had a rough life. And it's like, join the fucking club. Join the fucking club. We all been through something. We all had it rough. I've been through things and still had to work through it. I've been through a lot of shit and still had to work through it. Like physical work, mental work, spiritual work, and it still had to continue and still had to learn and grow and try to figure things out. And it's not easy. It's not easy. You know what I mean? If anybody tells you it's easy to deal with the things that you go through, it's like they're not you. They're not you. They're not going through the things that you go through. They don't have the same experience. They may have similar experiences because all of us have similar experiences. You know what I mean? It might not be similar to everybody's experience, but it's similar to somebody's experience. And that's what I learned. My story, my what I'm going through could help somebody else get through whatever they're going through in life. You know what I mean? I just hope that and pray that, you know, what I'm going through touches somebody, that somebody sees it and somebody hears it and they're able to make it through, because maybe they might not be going through something as tough as what I'm going through, so it let them know, hey, it could be worse. And maybe somebody's situation is worse than mine. And, they could reach back and reach out to me and give me a little bit of inspiration to pull through. We all watch movies. We all hear these great stories that happen, on movies and shit like that. You never think, your life will go through a situation, or a lot of us go through situations where we know, hey, this shit should be in a movie some fucking way. But a lot of times, a lot of us don't get that. A lot of us only see and feel some things on movies. But it's life is your own movie. Life is a movie that you're the main star, you're the main character, you're the head lead. You know what I mean? It's just how you produce that movie, how, what your production game is like. Whether you want, let your light be dimmed, you know what I mean, out to the point where you're hurting yourself and you're killing yourself every day with the habits and the feelings and the thoughts and your emotional setbacks and, what people did to you, niggas trying to set you up and, you know, people doing this in your life and doing that in your life, or you could go through it and let your story get out there, be heard, let yourself be heard, and really uh, elevate and grow. And understand that really you can't rely on too many people. You only could rely on you. You could rely on you pulling you out of any situation that you've ever encountered or been in. You know what I mean? You can rely on you, and you can rely on that creator within you. You know what I mean? Sometimes we go through these things because the creator within you want to be want to be let out. That creator, whatever energy that is, it want to be let out. It want to express. It wants you to express its concerns, its feelings, its emotion. You know what I mean? And that's on your mind. You can feel it. You can feel it within your emotions and in your thoughts. You can feel it. And it's just a lot of us don't do nothing with that. A lot of us want to suppress those memories and those thoughts and those feelings. So they go shoot something in their fucking veins, or they, you know, taking pills or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't look down on anybody for what they're going through in their life, because I've been there. I ain't never shot no shit in my arm or nothing. But, I've been on the train where, I'm getting high and I'm drinking alcohol and I'm smoking cigarettes and I'm, going through these emotions, and I'm thinking that what was me, you know what I mean? Feeling like, why life gotta be like this for me? But at the same time, why not? Why not me? Why not life be like that for me? You know what I mean? We all gotta go through different levels of life. You know, we go through different things on different levels of our life. You know what I mean? How do you really learn and grow if you haven't been through nothing? If you haven't been through nothing, how you really learn and grow? You only learn and grow by walking different paths in life, by going through different things in your life. That's when you learn, and that's when you grow, and that's when you get to see things. That's when you get to see the duality of certain concepts in life. That's when you get to see, oh, you know what I mean? I may have been judgmental here in my life, but now I'm in that same situation. Now I see where they was coming from. Now I see why they was going through what they was going through. Now I could could walk in their shoes a little bit and be able to tell, you know what I mean, where I may have been judgmental when I shouldn't have been. That's why I love being an observer, man. You got those two different types of people. You got observers and you got judgmental motherfuckers. It's best to be an observer. It's best to be an observer, because you really can't judge nobody and what they going through. Because one day that may be you. You know what I mean? And nobody want to be judged. Nobody like to be looked at as less than or this or that. But this is what the world does. This is what we do to each other. We judge each other. And I got a saying that I love to say, even a judge don't like to judge nobody. The judge got a jury of 12 people who's going to judge you for him. And all the judge going to do, he or she, is going to bang the gavel. Bap! Guilty or not guilty. Them 12 people say you're guilty, you're guilty. Them 12 people say you're innocent, you're innocent. Sometimes the judge got his little 2 cents that he throw into it, but he don't do too much judging. He just is an appointed judge. He's appointed to that position. A lot of us are appointed to our position in lives, but we don't get that. You're appointed to whatever situation or circumstances you're in for the moment, but you don't get that. You'll let that one appointing appoint the rest of your life. It was just a point. It was a point that you came to in life. That point is going to end. That point in life will end, and then you'll be appointed to a different point in life. You know what I mean? It's life is multifaceted, man. You just gotta roll with the tide, roll with the current, and just maintain yourself, maintain being you at all costs. Just maintain being you. You know what I mean? Because you know who you are don't really change. You could show one face to everybody else in the world, but when you go home, when you by yourself late at night, when you don't gotta put up that guard or that facade about who you really are, it's like that's who you are. That's your true character. Whether you're a funny person, but when you're out in public, you like to pretend like you're so serious. Damn, them some big ass spiders. But yeah, whether you want to, you know what I mean, put up this fake facade that you're so tough and rah rah rah. Nah, buddy. You know what I mean? You got a silly side. You got a personality. You are who you are at the end of the day, man. And nobody could take that away from you. They try to take it from you. They try to make you into what they want to make you into. They try to enslave you or imprison you, or you know, but it's all just the rigmarole of a system trying to confine something that's inconfinable. You know, yeah. That being said, man, I'm about to take this podcast out of here. But you know, my books is on sale. The last day is the 8th. So, you know, I think it's, yeah, the 8th is actually now. So, yeah, it's on sale. It was on sale. I'm gonna put it back on sale though for a little while longer. Um, you know, I'm gonna try to get around to it. I ain't gonna bullshit you. I might not put them back on sale for a little bit, but they were on sale. I'm happy. You know, thank you for the support for the ones that did go out and buy the books and go out and download the books. Um, it's much appreciated, you know, and reciprocated. And that's another thing. I'm trying to get this YouTube following thing up. I'm trying to get my followers up. I'm trying to get my likes up. You know what I mean? So please like, share, subscribe to videos. Whether you liked it or not, give me a comment. You know, let me know what you felt about what I'm doing here. You know what I mean? Whether it touched you, whether you thought it was bullshit or bogus or whatever it is, you know. And I'm a damn sure follow mine, put me in the place of Father Time. And follow my first mind, stay on my grind. Yeah, man. More music on the way. I'm still trying to figure out everything with my distributor and all of that stuff, but more music is constantly popping up out there. You know what I mean? More books. I'm still working on Moonlit Marshes. You know what I mean? That's gonna be a crazy book. It's a adventure book. Yeah. This my shit. Don't make sense. We make scenes. All for the cheddar, the cream, the triple beams. Rocking out with the ones who still have these dreams. We Freddy Krueger some things. We bending all the rules. We breaking all of the chains. The way my heart bent is still shall remain. See? Message. Be you. Oh. Be you, man. At all costs, be you. Maintain and stay true to you. You know what I mean? Well, that's been my time. This has been a long ass episode too. Um, you know, that's been my time. I'm Mr. Pagan. You know what I mean? Thank you for tuning in to God Concept. I hope you enjoy it. And don't forget, like, share, subscribe. I'm trying to get those followers up so that way I can, you know, reach more people. You know what I mean? Reach one, each one teach one, and I'm trying to reach one to teach one and all of that. So there you go. Peace.